Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Peace and love, family. Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Peace and love. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy solid and soulful Sunday. Peace and love. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming into the show. Weekly Sunday Light. Thank you guys for being here Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Last couple of months, we've been doing this Sunday Light segment where I just like to get up here and do something, a little different than SR Daily. SR Daily is broken down into 4 segments, um, with general stuff going on in the world, stuff going on in the community, stuff going on locally, nationally, right? But this Sunday Light is where I like to give more like a sermon, right? Like Sunday service, Sunday sermon type thing where I like to go deeper into a perspective that I have or deeper into something that I think that we should be building on, that we should be talking about as a human family, as a Black family, as those striving for peace, for unity, for freedom, for truth, for justice, those actualizing love, and all of that good stuff. Babe, can you do me solid and bring the sage and Palo Santo? And then the yellow lighter is in my shorts pocket. No, it may be in the kitchen. The yellow lighter is the better lighter. Thank you. Sefu Sankofa, what's going on, my brother? Top of the morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, KJ. What's going on? I ain't seen you in a minute, young fella. Peace and love. Peace and love. I hope that you are doing well. Hope that you are feeling good. This Sunday, man, we're gonna talk about the power of the Kwanzaa principles. Right? We're gonna talk about the power of the Kwanzaa principles. We're gonna go through them because the 7 Kwanzaa principles really are not just for Kwanzaa time, right? They are principles that we can use in our daily lives. It's not in there, so it's in my pocket. The shorts I had on yesterday, which may be right there. But yeah, I think the Kwanzaa principles are principles that could be applied to life every day, no matter the season, no matter the year, no matter what holiday it is, and no matter who it is. I think the principles of Kwanzaa are pretty universal, and can really, again, get humanity in a much better space. And so that's what we're going to talk about this morning. We are going to talk about that. We are going to burn some sage. Thank you, my love. We're going to burn some sage, and we're going to get into it. We're going to do a prayer. In today's prayer, I want to pray for those who are just a principle away, a practice away, right? They are one discipline away. They are one opportunity away from actualizing their dream life, from living a life, having a life that they've always desired. Those who are so close, those who've been working so hard, striving for unity, striving for peace, striving for financial freedom, striving for good health, right? Those who are out there, those who have the wisdoms, those who are doing the work. I pray on this morning that they get the breakthrough that they need. There's so many people who are tired doing this work, leading families, leading teams, leading organizations, building companies. There's so many people that are tired and they don't see the end result. They don't see the finished product. And I pray that they get what they need to press forward. I pray that they get the sign that they need. They get the omen that they need. They get the support that they need to keep on going, to keep pressing forward, to keep working, to keep striving, to keep believing, to keep faith, on this journey. Faith is one of the most important tools that we need. Even when we don't see the whole staircase, we have to keep stepping. Even when we don't see the next step, we have to just trust that, put our left foot in front of our right foot in front of our left, and just keep going. Just keep going. And so my prayer on this morning is that the divine spirit, divine source energy of the universe, the ancestors, speak to people, to their hearts, and let them know how close they are. Let them know that all they need to do is make one small adjustment. I'm praying for those people. I'm praying for those brothers and for those sisters who are so close. I'm praying that they don't give up. I'm praying that they endure. I'm praying that they maintain strength and focus, because their dreams, their goals, their visions will make the world a better place, and we need them. We need the big, bold dreams. We need the creative visions. We need those who think outside of the box. We need them in this time, in this space, to push us forward as a human family, to push us forward as a society. And so I pray that they have clarity. I pray that the path opens up for them. I pray that they take that extra step, that they step that extra yard, that they go that extra mile in actualizing their own dreams that they know will make the world a better place. My prayers are with them. My thoughts are with them. My meditations are with them. May we keep stepping in the right direction. Ashe. Oh, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. So we're going to talk about the power of the Kwanzaa principles. And this is inspired because Mona says she has something. And the first principle, we're not going to go in order, but we're going to build on this thing, right? Because ever since I've really became conscious and aware of not just what Kwanzaa is as a celebration, right? As a week-long celebration, because I was aware of that young, but in recent decades, right? Last decade and a half or so, really understanding the power of the Kwanzaa principles, not just, right? Because when you're young, at least when I was young, we knew what Kwanzaa was. My family, we really didn't celebrate Kwanzaa. We acknowledged Christmas, right? Christian family. But knew what Kwanzaa was, heard about it, knew people who, dressed up during Kwanzaa time and, put their African garb on and did the dances and, the music. And although like that wasn't really prominent in my community, I would see people and I heard things. I knew people who knew people. Like there was a sister on my block, my homegirl Naya, her mother, Miss Khadijah, big on Kwanzaa, right? Big on just African celebration and African culture, period. Black culture, black people, period, right? And she would always dress up and she would always invite you to dances and to this celebration. And she dragged her children and they tried to drag some of their friends, and a lot of us wasn't with it because it just seemed like extra. But as I've aged and as I've grown and as I've experienced life, I realized that the celebrations are great, right? The celebrations are great. The clothing is beautiful. The music is freaking powerful, right? The coming together to eat is phenomenal. But I've learned that if we don't take those 7 principles that we acknowledge during those 7 days and make it part of our everyday life, right? Make it part of our life in the spring and the summer. I think there was something last year. It was Kwanzaa in the summer. That was super dope. I don't remember where that was. It was somewhere in the city. Said, fool, maybe I do not remember. But there was somewhere in the city where an organization was doing Kwanzaa in the summer. And I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Because, again, these are 7 principles that if you're going to practice them or if you're going to acknowledge them for 7 days, right, from December 26th to January 1st, if you're going to acknowledge these 7 principles during those 7 days, why would you not acknowledge them, right? If you think they're that powerful, or that beautiful, or that useful, then why would you not acknowledge them every day, right? Each principle every day, not just one principle a day. No, each principle. Some days, maybe more than others, you need to acknowledge something, right? But the reason that we're talking about this today is because Mona said, I was like, what do I talk about this morning? She said, talk about asking for help and when to ask for help, and that it's okay to ask for help. And that just made me think of, I think it's Ujima, right? We're going to start with Ujima. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. I think it is Ujima, Collective Work and Responsibility. Yes, Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. This is what we're going to start, and we're going to build on all 7 of them today. Peace and love, Eva Bill. Peace and love, Fleet Pesci, what's going on? Peace and love. Thank you guys for tuning in. Moski is in the building. Thank you for tuning in, Mona. I love you, girl. Um, so Ujima, collective working responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our community's problems our problems and to solve them together. One more time, I'm sure you guys heard about this. I'm sure you guys heard this, read this during Kwanzaa. And it's not Kwanzaa, but it's always a good time to build on that which is good. Ujima, collective working responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our community's problems our problems and to solve them together. This is extremely important, extremely important. And I want to share something with you guys, right? So maybe over the last few years, I've come to realize that in the Black community, we need to have more conversations specifically around manhood, around brotherhood, right? What does it mean to be a man? What does it then mean to be a brother, right? Because if we grow up together, if we calling ourselves brothers, that's my brother, then that means that, or what does that mean, right? We need to identify what that means because there are people who say that, yo, that's my brother, that's my brother, that's my brother. And then the moment that your brother does something that you don't like, that you deem quote unquote disrespectful, you want to fight him, you want to, talk bad about him, or worse, you want to kill him. That has happened. There are people who have considered themselves brothers who have killed one another. One has killed the other, right? Brothers, what does brotherhood mean? What does brotherhood mean? There are situations where people are in the streets and, a crew is hanging out. They calling themselves brothers and one person gets robbed. And then the other brothers are cool with the person who robbed the brother. It's like, what does brotherhood really mean? Right? What does brotherhood mean? I got shot. When I got shot, I was sitting around a few people. A few of those people and people who I thought was really close to me, just a few weeks later was hanging with the guy who shot me. It's like, whoa, what does brotherhood mean? I think this is part of it, right? To make our community's problems our problems and to solve them together. In other words, to make our family's problems our problems, to make our brothers' problems our problems, to make our sisters' problems our problems. In our community, unfortunately, we have adopted the idea of hyper individuality. We've adopted, even subconsciously, this European mindset that says you got to handle your own problems. Oh, that's too bad, man. Oh man, that sounds tough. Oh, it sucks. It's like, I get it. Everybody going through something. But that's even more why we should work collectively. That's even more why we should have collective work and responsibility because we're all dealing with something. We are all dealing with something or things that are heavy, things that are tough, things that are taking a lot of mental energy, a lot of physical energy, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of emotional strength, a lot of finances. We are all dealing with things, yes. So therefore, if we work together, I think we would get more done using less energy individually, right? So to make our problems, to make the problems of our brother and our sister our problems, to make my problems your problems are my problems. When somebody comes to me with a problem, like my conditioning now, right? I've been conditioned. I've conditioned myself. Somebody comes to me with a problem, even if I can't help them, right? Or even if I can't do what they need, somebody may have a financial issue, and I may not be able to give them all the money that they need. But if I can give them something, I give them something and ask, what else can I do, or how can I help you get the rest? Like, what can we do together? Let's figure it out, right? Let's figure it out. Yo, man, I'm struggling, man. I need some money. I need a job. Yo, listen, I ain't got no job to offer you, but let's figure it out. And unfortunately, I've learned that most people really don't want to figure it out. They want a handout, which some would say is bad. Some would say sometimes people need a hand up, right? People need to be lifted up sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, these are our brothers and our sisters, if we deem each other that, right? But in that same breath, going to what Mona mentioned this morning, knowing when to ask for help. I think that's very tough because people subconsciously know that a lot of folks around them don't have this mindset, my love. They don't have this mindset of working together, of having a shared responsibility for our community safety, for our community well-being, for our family's health, family's financial stability. A lot of people don't have the same commitment. And so I think, yes, know when to ask for help, but I think that as a whole, we as a community, as a society, have to make ourselves more what's the word? Not susceptible, not, I don't know, make ourselves more open to helping each other, right? Now, some of us do it. Some of us do an incredible job at that, right? Some of us reach out, we check up, we pop up. Some of us do an incredible job at making ourselves available to help those in our community, those in our family. And then, right, this is where you got to know who you're around, know who's around you. Who can you go to for help? You may not be able to go to everybody. You may have 100 people around you. You may can't ask everybody for help. You may can't ask everybody for the same help. You might ask this person for some money. Maybe ask this person to sit and talk with you. Maybe ask this person for some food. Maybe you can ask that person for watch the children. Different people for different things, right? But yeah, I think this is an extremely important principle. Ojima collective working responsibility to build and maintain our community together. We have a shared responsibility. There is no one person that should be complaining about the neighborhood without actively being involved in improving the neighborhood. People want other people to do it. Oh, that's their responsibility. Oh, that's their job. No, it's your responsibility. It is your job. You live in that neighborhood. You work in that neighborhood, right? You are part of that family. It's your job to get the family together. Stop looking for grandma or uncle or auntie or cousin to do it. You do it. You do it. If you care enough, then you do it. All right. But again, going back to what Mona said, understand that although I said all of the stuff and it is really tough, there are people in your life who will help you. There are people in your life who will share the load with you, right? And you got to just know that, and you got to trust that. Like, that's the faith. You have to trust that there are people around you who will help you, who love you, who care about you, who want to see you be well, who want to see you do well, who want to see you succeed, who want to see you get over that hurdle, get over that hump, right? And when you have those people in your life, you have to ask for help. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Hey, can you help me do X, Y, and Z? Hey, I need help with this. You on social media, put it out there. And yeah, everybody might not help you, but you don't need everybody to help. You just need a few. You need 1, 2, or 3. You just need a few, right? Like, that's all you need. And so you got to trust that putting it out there, you're going to get what you need. You got to trust that the divine got you and is guiding you and is going to bring the people you need to you, so that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish and manifest the vision that you have in your head, in your heart, and in your spirit. Right? But we're going to keep moving on. We're going to go on to a few other principles. Peter Jablin, what's going on? What's going on, my brother? Peace be with you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome, Adrian Farrow. Good brother. Peace and love. Self-determination. Ha ha. Said Fusa and Kofa's going to self-determination. We are going to go back to the beginning, umoja, unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. So now this goes again, similar, collective working responsibility. If we're united, if we are one, if we are moving as one unit, one family, one community, one nation, one race, right? Now I understand why or how unity could be difficult. I understand very specifically now how unity could be difficult, specifically in general, right? Whether it's a family, a community, a nation, or a race, and that's specifically because of ethnicity and culture. Ethnicity and culture can make and has made, along with religion, right, which can be considered culture, has made unity very difficult because we have different ideologies. Right? We may look exactly the same. We may live around each other. We may live with each other. We may share the same blood, right? But we have different ideologies, right? Like, they are family members in the streets. One becomes Crip, one becomes Blood. One becomes Christian, one becomes Muslim. One is vegan, one is not, right? And not that those things alone make unity hard or impossible. No, they don't, and they shouldn't. But what makes unity hard, what makes umoja and unity hard in those aspects is simply person's perception. Thinking that, right, because we've been conditioned to think that because you are a little different, because you practice a little different, because you worship a little different, because you wear a different color, right? The gang thing has always been freaking baffling to me, because, especially once I learned what they were created for, that blood meant BLOOD, brotherly love overcomes oppression and destruction, and CRIP, CRIP, community revolution and progress. It was like, whoa, they're essentially the same thing. They're essentially saying that, yo, when we come together, right, us united, we can revolt right, against the people who are trying to oppress us, right? And we could eradicate it. We could overcome it. We could overcome the oppression. We could get out of the oppression, and we could provide for ourselves. We could do for ourselves. That's what they were created for. Wore a different color, and then they became enemies. And it's like, whoa, conditioning like a mug. Conditioning like a mug, right? So is our perception, is our conditioned perception that makes unity hard in the family, community, nation, and race, because we have a different culture. We have different ethnicity. There are some people who think, like I was reading my brother, oh man, his name escapes me right now. My brother in Chicago shared something recently. Frederick Douglass, right? People love Frederick Douglass. People, right, hail Frederick Douglass, right? Frederick Douglass, right? It's Frederick Douglass. But Frederick Douglass was on record as saying that the black people benefited from slavery. Like the slaves benefit from slavery, and black people are in a better position because of slavery. He said that. I read his words. So different ideology, different ideal. There are some people who believe slavery was a good thing. There are some people who think integration was a good thing. There's some people who's like, no, that was the worst. Slavery and then freaking integrating, no, segregation. There are people who have those different thoughts, and that makes things tough. It doesn't have to per se, but it does sometimes because it can be in complete opposition, right? Some of us are fighting for freedom, justice, and liberation. And some people are fighting just to get along, just to maintain the status quo. Just some people are fighting for a total freaking revolution, right? A complete overhaul in all of the systems: education, health, economics, housing, right? All of it. Some people want to flip the whole thing upside down and start again. Some people are like, no, don't do that. You try to do that, I'm gonna send you to jail. It's like, whoa, right? So that's what makes unity tough. That's what can make unity tough. That's what has made unity tough in the family, community, nation, and race, right? But we still got to strive for it. We still got to strive for it, and we got to understand, similar to one thing our good brother Marcus Garvey said was, is that some of you Negroes ain't no good here, and you'll be no good in Africa, right? So meaning that just because someone shares the same blood as you, just because someone has the same skin tone or skin complexion as you, it doesn't mean that you guys are one and the same. And that's a tough thing to realize, right? Because it should be like, yo, we the same people, but we got different minds, different hearts, and different spirits. That's the key. And that's what makes it tough, because we can look alike, we could say the same things. I remember years ago talking with this woman on Facebook, this white woman on Facebook, and we were talking about the Bible and things like that. And my sister got involved in the conversation. My sister was like, because the lady was a little out there, right? And in her perception and her thoughts and all of the stuff. My sister's like, the devil know the Bible too. Like, ooh, the devil knows the Bible too, right? So different spirits, look the same, live in the same place, eat the same food, went to the same schools, got the same education, but we got completely different spirits. How we process things, we want different things, right? People legit want something different. Some people really want to be free from this oppressive structure here in America, and some people will kill you to maintain it. And they look just like you, live in your home, right? In the Christian text, it says something about, for my name, a mother will be set against her daughter, and a father against a son, right? And the people of your own home will be your enemies. It says that. It's tough. It's tough. And when you analyze it, you overstand and you understand and you recognize that it's real. When you stand on your own, now, if you go along to get along, then everything may be peaceful. But it's not really peaceful if you are unsettled internally. Mentally, you really want to think about something else. You really want to talk about other things, right? Spiritually, your spirit is really moving you over here, right? I'll share this. There was some turmoil that started in my family when I grew and moved in. And mind you, I was never really, I guess, deeply ingrained in Christian culture. My dad was a Christian reverend. I didn't really grow up in the church. By the time I was born, he wasn't preaching as much. He would do like guest appearances, guest sermons, but he wasn't preaching regularly. He was running his business by the time I was born, right? So I grew up with that. Came home from prison and went to my aunt's house in Long Island, and she was devout Christian, church every week, right? Church meetings with the church people, and I would go with her, right? Even though I wasn't deeply committed, but I'm like, you know what? Something to do with my aunt. It can't hurt me, Right, let's see where this goes. Spirit was like, go through it, and I was with it, and I got baptized. Right, ended up getting baptized one Sunday. Right, and it was all cool until I kept growing, and then I outgrew and kept questioning the Christian texts and the Christian religion, and kept having questions, and kept having my own thoughts, and kept doing my own study, and then it became, oh yeah, Ray is great. Right, Ray is this, Ray is that. To, oh, Ray think he knows so much. Oh, Ray think he better than somebody. Ray, it's like I'm just striving to grow spiritually. I'm just striving to deepen my knowledge on this thing that I'm part of. That's what it was. Okay, I'm part of Christianity. Let me study it more. And as I studied it more, it was like, whoa, like reading texts, not just the Bible, but reading other texts about Christianity from other people, not things from people that's in it, because there's always bias. Can you read things, right? Like I came across the lost years of Jesus. Came across the lost years of Jesus and the books that was removed from the Bible, the book of Enoch and Mary Magdalene, and it was like, whoa, right? So now family is divided, right? We were very close, right? My aunt and I, right, and some other family members and I, very close. Like my niece and I was very close. Then the moment I started growing, my aunt, she had some funny ways, and my niece would say, woo, my niece would say crazy things, and it was like, whoa, I'm the same person. I'm your uncle, right? Like, what are we talking about here? But it made me remember that we could look alike, we could speak alike, we got the same blood, but we got different thought process, again, different cultures, different ethnicities, right? Things that, again, they don't make unity impossible, but they make it difficult, especially in our community where we get so attached to a thing, specifically a religion or something like that, and we don't want to let it go, right? But yeah, we're gonna keep it moving, right? Because talking about the power of the Kwanzaa principles, right? These principles, if we study them, if we acknowledge them, and like just study, acknowledge them and study them, we could work our way through these challenges that we have, from oppression to racism, sexism, and classism. We could work through them together, right? Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. We're gonna move now to Sefu's favorite, which is also one of my favorites, Kuji Jagalia, self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. And I like, so they have, I'm on this website, right? And they have this song for reflection, I am the black gold of the sun. I am the black gold of the sun, Rotary Connection, and Minnie Riperton. Minnie Riperton is one of my favorite singers. She's absolutely incredible. I am the black gold of the sun. To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Understand this. When someone asks you, right? So back up. We are born and our parents name us. Our parents give us a name. Our parents, our grandparents, our aunts, whoever it is, right? They give us a name, right? And as we age and someone says, what's your name? People say, my name is, right? It's like, my name is Slim Shady, right? My name is. But no. Number one, when you get to a certain age, you can name yourself, right? That's number one. If you don't like the name that your parents gave you, because unfortunately, through generations, we've forgotten how important it is, like how important a name is. And so we just give random names, any names. We just like make up names, which making up names is not a bad thing. But we make up names that have no substance, that have no meaning, that are rooted in nothing. Whereas before, right, years ago, and this is across various cultures, people had naming ceremonies. People will come together and what do we name this child? You name the child based on what you want the child to become, right? Why you brought the child here. And this goes deep. This goes to something I was talking about maybe a few months ago on SR Daily, is that we can't just have children just because the sex is good. Why do we want to bring a life into this world? What do we want this life to be and to do, right? Like, who do we want this person that we're going to create, that we have created, that we are bringing into this world? Who do we want them to be? Not just as a baby and as a child, but they're going to grow. What type of person do we want to create? And what do we want them to feel about themselves? And that's all of that, right? And more went into a name, whereas now the names is just like, here, this is a name. This is a name. Here, take this name. I don't know no name. This is such and such name on TV. It sounded good, right? Again, which is, they're not necessarily bad things. but it's not as much substance as it once was. And so you want to change your name, you can. And in changing your name, changing how you identify yourself, or how others identify you rather, when they ask, who are you? Or what's your name? Not my name is. Call yourself into existence. I am. So people ask me my name, like I'll be in groups and right, we do introductions and everybody's saying my name is, oh yeah, my name is Karen, or my name is Tom, or my name is Rashida, or my name, whatever the name is. And I say, I am Sugar Ray, or I am LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston. I am. I'm calling myself into existence every time. I am. This is who I am. This is not just my name, right? Because your name is given to you, right? Which is cool. Not a bad thing, right? Makuji Jagalia, to name ourselves, to who are you? I am such and such, right? To create for ourselves and speak for ourselves, so we can become a separate entity. Individually, you are an entity already. Your family, your community, your group, your organization, right? You define yourselves like, nah, we don't want to identify with that anymore. We going over here to do this. This is who we are. We building this black nation. Right, we don't want to be part of that over there. We building this nation, and this is who we are. We are the blacks, right? We're gonna create for ourselves. We're gonna create economic systems. We're gonna create educational systems. We're gonna create for ourselves, right? Like Koji Jagalia, self-determination. Stop depending on others and allowing others to define you and to define things for you and to create things for you. No one, especially no one outside of, again, we spoke about community, family, nation, and race. Nobody outside of that, and even some within that, don't want you to be who you fully can become. And so you got to leave it up to yourself. Make it your responsibility, right? Make it your responsibility. Self-determination, right? Self, me, I, self, law, and master. Islam, right? Make yourself like your priority and make yourself your go-to source, right? And then if you have a partner, right, a spouse, right, go to them. You trust them, right? You're building with them. You're sharing life with them, right? Go to them. Hey, babe, what do you think about this? Hey, babe, listen, what do you think about going in this direction? What do you think about doing this for ourselves? What do you think? You know, if you got the same mindset, right? A lot of times people don't, man. People get into relationships. People get into situations without fully being aligned, right? But then once we determine for ourselves, right, once we have a collective working responsibility and we're united, then we can really focus on our economics, cooperative economics, Ujamaa, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. We got ideas, we got talents, we got skills, we got knowledge, we got education, we got resources. Some got money, some got space, some got a network, right? Like, come together. We make things more difficult by being so hyper individualistic. I promise you we do. I promise you things would be a lot easier. I said it the other day on the show. I'm going to say it again. It is easier. It is easier for 5 groups of people. 5 people even. It's easier for 5 people, 5 individuals to come together, right? And to get $1 million than it is for each of those 5 people to get $200,000, which would 5 would be $1 million, right? It's even easier for 5 people to come together to get $1 million than it is for each of those 5 people individually to even get $50,000. How difficult it is for an individual right now to get $50,000 for his business. It's very difficult. Some will say it's extremely easy, depending on who you are, depending on where you are, depending on your network. It might be, right? But even those people, right, they're honest, say it is tough. I got it because of, it's easy where I'm at. But for the great majority, it's very tough. It's very hard for an individual right now to get $50,000 for their business. It may have been hard forever, but it's hard now. But it's easier to come together as a coalition, put our 5 names together. What is our mission? What is our causes? What issues are we addressing? Right? We're feeding people, and we're addressing health and illness, and we're doing fitness, right? We're doing mindfulness, we're doing meditation, and we're doing art, and we're addressing political prisoner stuff, and we're doing this education for young people, right? And we're doing, boom, we got 5 things. Yo, let's go get $1 million. Let's put this under one umbrella. Let's go get it. It's easier. It's not saying that it's easy. No, it's still freaking tough, right? It's still freaking tough. But I believe wholeheartedly that it's easier to do that, right? So collective, cooperative, economics, pull our money together, right? Like, stores, shops, other businesses, right? Big thing now is AI and tech, right? Like, let's figure it out because we need us. Nobody else is going to do it for us. Nobody else is going to build and maintain our stores. Nobody's going to do it. They're not supposed to. It's not their responsibility. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to do for ourselves. Self-determined, right? Self-determination is up to us. It's up to us. If we're going to win, if we're going to succeed, it's up to us and us only, right? It's not up to our neighbors, right? Like, they can help, they can support. Just like we can be supportive, like we can help. It's up to us. It's up to us. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing, right? This is a big one. This is my niece, right? My brother named his daughter. This one, Nia. Purpose. Nia, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. To make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community. What is our purpose? To build our community. What is our purpose? To get free, right? What is our purpose, right? Like, each individual has a purpose. You are in a community. You are part of a family. What is your purpose, young man? What is your purpose, young lady? What is your purpose? And it should be in relation to what's going on around you to some degree, right? It should be like your family's in poverty. Your family's living in public housing, right? Your family is going through X, Y, and Z, right? Some part of your purpose could be, should be, addressing what's going on in some way, whether it's speaking up about what's going on, creating art about what's going on, right? Starting a business, learning about what's going on and why it's going on. So being a scholar, right? Really learning and studying, being an intellectual, becoming a teacher, right? Becoming a medical professional, right? What is it? It could be anything, but it should be to some degree related to your family situation, your community situation, your community dynamic, the dynamic of your race, of your nation, right? It should have something to do with that, right? But this is where, again, culture comes into play, right? Ethnicity comes into play. What are we being taught? We're being taught that, oh yeah, you do your own thing. If they don't get on with it, then leave them. No. Yes, you got to follow your heart. You got to follow your spirit. You got to be in line. You got to align. Like, you got to be in alignment with yourself, 100%. But you are not separate from your community, right? My man Good Fortune told me, be different, not separate. Be different. Be you. Be different. Dress different. Talk different. Think different. Yes, of course, we are all different. Some people are like robots, so they do follow. They dress like the brothers and sisters around them. They talk like them. Yes, some of us are different. We dress different. We speak different. We think different. But we're not separate from our community, right? No one person rises above the conditions of their community, and no one person should fall below the conditions of their community. And so if there's a person who is poor, we all got a responsibility. And we have like a lot of people in our community who is poor, who are poor. And we got a collective responsibility to help eradicate that poverty for that individual and all of those individuals, their families, right? And we got a responsibility to, as we rise, lift up. Right? As we rise, lift up. And as people are rising, help them. Right? Don't just be the one to always take. You can give. So maybe you don't have money to give, but maybe you can give your time, you can give your energy. Because just because a person is generating income, just because someone is making money or some people are making money, doesn't mean they got it all figured out, and doesn't mean that they don't need help. Right? Doesn't mean that they don't need help. I like speaking about money, right? In thought process. I like Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says something like, he says, if you got somebody in your circle who is wealthy and you want to learn from them, take them out to dinner, take them out to lunch, right? Spend your money. Okay, yeah, maybe they got more money than you. Maybe they're worth $50 million and you barely, living check to check, struggling to pay whatever it is. But you want their wisdom. You want their information. You want to be close to them, so offer to take them out to dinner. Right? If you got to pull resources and get $50 from this person, $20 from that person, you got to save up. Do it. Right? Don't just be the one to always want something, because this is what's going to happen. And this is what I've learned by talking to people with money, just being around them, right? And not being afraid to spend my money, knowing that they got more money than me. I spend my money because I want your time. It may be something you say. I may be able to ask you a question. We may be able to create a partnership because my mind is right. Whatever the case may be, right? But yeah, that's purpose. We're gonna go right along, man, and we got two more principles, and these principles, right, are, I think collective work responsibility important, self-determination important, unity important, right? Cooperative economics important, right? These things are extremely important, but this one, I think, without this one, not like without these next two, everything else that we do is going to be like, Kumba, creativity, to do always as much as we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. Be creative, be creative, be creative, be creative. Understand that your creative genius, that is your ticket out, right? That is our ticket out, our creative genius. Because we can come together, right? We can share economics, but all of it is rooted in creativity. All of it is rooted in creativity because without creativity, what are we doing? Just following along, just following blankly. That's what we're doing, building the same thing that was built before that's going to fall apart again, doing the same thing, be like this. No, be creative, man. Like, go into your mind and allow your mind to, like, take what's in here, do your best to take what's in here and bring it out. And this is where the unity comes into play because it's hard to bring some things from here out by yourself. You need somebody to listen to. You need somebody to give you feedback. You need somebody to create with some ideas you got. It takes 2 or 3 people. Come together, but be creative, right? To do always as much as we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it, right? Than we inherited it. You were born into a neighborhood. You were born into a community. You were born into a family. You were born into a nation. You were born as part of a race, right? It is the way it is when you were born. What it becomes by the time you leave the earth, right, is partly up to you. Partly up to you. And you may think, my little input don't really matter. You are shortchanging yourself. Your input matters. Your thoughts matter. Your energy matters. Your art matters. Your creativity matters. What you want matters. Your vision matters. Your spirit matters. Your mind and your heart, your knowledge and intellect, it matters. Your all of it matters. All of it matters. And you have you individual, you brother, you sister, you have what it takes to contribute abundantly to your community, to the world, right? And make it all more beautiful than it was when you inherited it. I'm grateful that I've been able to make my community a lot more beautiful than it was, right? My community was Queensbridge. It was something in the 80s when I moved there. 86. It was something in those 90s. Ooh, baby, it was very, very tough place, Queensbridge. Very tough place. You guys heard the music. You guys know some stories. It's a very, very tough place, right? There's many other tough places, of course, right? Queensbridge, very tough place. But through creativity, right, through thinking outside of the box, we've been able to make Queensbridge a much more beautiful community to the point where it might have been last summer or the summer before during one of the basketball games, right? Basketball tournament, Queensbridge Summer Hoops. Team came from Jamaica, right? I ended up meeting one of the coaches. And we were talking, and he was like, yo, it's crazy. Like, yo, I was out here in the 80s and 90s, and there wasn't a place to be. I think he said he used to work, I think he worked like construction or cable. He did some kind of work where he was like working in the buildings or going to people's homes, right? And he said that it was tough. He didn't, like, with some days he didn't want to come to work because it was so tough in Queens. But he said, but now, he said, I haven't been here in years, but now coming back with these young people, like, I feel the difference in the neighborhood. I see the difference in the neighborhood. And I'm like, wow, like, thank you. Like, we worked really hard. Like, some of us worked really, really hard the last 20 plus years to transform Queensbridge into a place where people just didn't want to run away from people who lived there. People who, visited wasn't afraid, I don't want to go to Queensbridge because, like, one of my friends came to Queensbridge, come to see me. On his way to see me from the train station, got robbed and took his chain. Right? He's like, I'm never coming to Queensbridge again. I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Right? Like, I'm so sorry. So now we got to walk through the neighborhood, see who robbed you. It was this guy who looked like this. Like, damn, I feel so bad. Like, coming to see me, one of my boys from the other side of Queens, we went to the same high school. Yo, I'm going to come check you. All right, come check me, man. He came to check me before. I'm like, yo, you need me to meet you at the train? Like, nah, I'm good. I remember where you live. And I'm not really thinking, because I'm from there, so I'm not really thinking that, right? I'm kind of absent-minded, right? But in walking from the train to my crib, a block and a half, he got robbed for his chain and his money, right? But yeah, since then we've been able to make Queensbridge a little more beautiful, right? Things still happen, of course. There's a lot of people in poverty, a lot of people stressed out, a lot of people emotionally overwhelmed, a lot of people are hurt people, right? But yeah, Kumba, creativity, and then I think my personal favorite, Imani, faith. To believe with all our hearts in our people, in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Without faith, none of it matters. If you don't believe that you can win, if you don't believe that you can overcome, if you don't believe that you can do better, that we can do better, that we can rise, then it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. You have to have faith, unyielding, unshakable, unwavering faith in you and your people and the vision that you have, that y'all share. You have to have faith, unyielding, unshakable, unwavering faith, to believe with all of our hearts and our people, to believe in each other. How do you say you believe in God? You believe in the divine, but you don't believe in your brother or your sister when they tell you that they're going to do something? You doubt them. How? Why? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. People are frauds. People are fakes, frauds, and phonies, I like to say. But can't worry about them. You got to maintain your faith in yourself and in your people, right? I believe that we can win. I believe that we can rise. I believe that Mona and I, along with Brother Sefusi and Kofa and Eddie and all of the other people that we're around, I believe that we, number one, we are making the world a better place, and we can do so much more to add so much more value to our community, right, into the world. Like, we can do everything that we say we can do. We can build schools. We will build schools. We will build healing centers and clinics, right? We will do vegan retreats, right? You have to believe that. You have to believe in whatever the vision is that you have, the vision that you and your friends and your partners share. You have to believe that. Otherwise, like, what are you doing? You just doing that, then you just become like a dog chasing your tail. You're just doing things just to do it. You don't even believe that it's going to work. So then why are you doing it? Just to do things. I get it, right? People like, oh, I don't, talking to my sister the other day, right? Talking about people who, maybe have no hope for the future, and they engage in the same activities daily, let's say drinking, smoking, gambling, being outside, right? Not really actively working towards any specific goals or working to build anything substantial, right? Just trying to get by. Really, there are some people who just are waiting to die, right? They're like, oh yeah, I just, I'm gonna die, just, get out of here. And then my sister's like, well, why do they don't kill themselves? I said, well, because people ain't gonna do that. Like, people ain't gonna kill themselves. People want to live, right? People, like, you want to live. You want to live for something, and when you realize that you're not living for anything, it's hard to, like, create in your own self, especially when you're an adult. And from young, either your dreams have been shot down, or you never really had a dream, right? And you've been, conditioned to believe that you ain't nothing and you ain't gonna be nothing, and right, you're just gonna be, in poverty and poor, right? You've seen your mama and your grandmama and your father and your grandfather and great grand, you've seen them work and struggle their whole life. You may be like, I'd rather just go over here and do this. And it's like, okay, apathy is real, right? But this is when we need each other, because you got to be able to inject like a dose of faith in your brother and your sister. You got to be able to inject, right, like hope, right? Like hope, and even spark their creativity. Figure out how you can spark their creativity. But yeah, man, this is the power, right? When if we combine these 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and if we practice them every single day of our lives, right? And if we teach them to our children as much as possible, as often as possible, and not just, come here, let me teach you something. This is the principle, but no, through self-actualization, right? Through, like, being an example. If we do that, we could build a whole new world. That's the power of these Kwanzaa principles. These Kwanzaa principles give us a foundation to build a whole new world. So if we don't like the world that we're living in, the president, we don't like our mayor in New York City, Adams, and whatever it is that we are unhappy with, that we are unsettled with, that we don't like, that we don't deem as good for us and the people around us and the people coming after us, these Kwanzaa principles give us a blueprint, give us a foundation, give us a way, right, to build a whole new world. Other than that, now it's just our mindset. It's just, what do we want to build? What do we want to create? Right? We got the faith, right? We got the creativity. What do we want to do now? What do we want to create, right? We're working together, right? We're pulling our resources. Now it's just, what is it? It's housing, it's shelter, right? Is education, right? Is travel, right? Is science, technology, AI, right? Education centers, is clinics, health clinics, and things like that. It's our world. It's our world. These Kwanzaa principles give us the right to say, "Yo, this is our world, and this is what we're doing with it." That's simple. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for chiming in. Peter said people show you who they really are by what they do, not what they say. Absolutely. KJ said brotherhood is supposed to be love and responsibility over each other. Absolutely. A group of people who have the same idea want to kill each other over a piece of product. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So we got to redefine humanity. We got to redefine manhood, brotherhood, and we got to really, really, really work to make these principles part of our everyday lives. Right? Every day we should be striving to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Every day we should be working, having a collective working responsibility. Every day we should be aligned with our purpose or striving to manifest out every single day as individuals and then collectively. And that's why individually, like this is the thing. Individually, you got to do it because collectively, sometimes those others around you fall off, and you got to be the spark. You got to be the match that keeps the rest of the things burning. You got to be that. Don't wait for somebody else to be it. You be it. You be the spark. You be the light. You be the truth. You be the teacher, right? You be the guide. You be the light bearer, the carrier of the wisdom, right? Sacred wisdom. You be that person to take sole responsibility and say, it's up to me. If we're going to win, it's up to me, right? But guys, thank you for tuning in. We're going to do a short meditation. This week's episode of Sunday Light. I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I really wholeheartedly believe in us. I believe in us, not just as black folks, not just as the black family, but I believe in a human family. I believe in humanity. I believe that good people around the world are rising up. I believe that we will continue to rise. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will get free. It's ugly right now in various parts of the world. It is very ugly, very ugly. There is oppression, there is rape, there is oppression, and there is rape, and there is racism, and there is terrorism, and there is a lot of families, a lot of individuals are struggling. A lot of people are dying. A lot of people are not getting adequate nutrition, adequate education, adequate shelter, adequate clothing. There are people who are scared to walk down their block. There are people who don't want to wake up in their home and with their families. There are people who are being abused by their parents, by their spouses, by their children, by their siblings. There's a lot of pain in this world. But I believe that each of us has a responsibility to bring more peace and love into this world. If that's what we want to see. If you want to see peace and you want to see love in the world, you got to bring it into this world. You have to be an example. You have to be an example. You have to be an example of peace, of forgiveness, of patience, of compassion, of grace. You got to show it. As they say, you got to give love to get love. If you want more compassion in this world, if you want more peace in this world, if you want more love in this world, then you have to be the one to bring it forth. So let us take a moment to just breathe and to just sit in silence with our thoughts and our feelings and our breath. If you're sitting and your feet can touch the floor, allow your feet to be planted firmly beneath you, keeping you upright. Allow your back to be straight in behind you, helping you sit up nice and tall. You can allow your arms, your hands to rest gently in your lap or by your side. Allowing your head to lean forward so that your chin is in your chest, and allowing your eyes to close ever so softly. And becoming one with your breath. Remembering that with this breath, you have life. And with life, You have opportunity, all the opportunity in the world to bring forth the vision that is in your heart, the vision that is in your mind, and the vision that is intertwined in your spirit with breath, with life. You have that opportunity. So just become aware of your breath and be thankful. There are some people who did not wake up today. There's some folks who are taking their last breath right now. And here we are, continuing to breathe, continuing to live, even through our challenges, even through our pains. As your breathing begins to settle, turn your attention to your mind and become aware of all of the mind stuff. Become aware of all of your thoughts, your memories and regrets of the past, yesterday, your hopes, your dreams, and your fears of the future, of tomorrow, and your joys and your pains of the present, of today. Become aware of all of it. Become aware of the sound of my voice. Become aware of any sensations in your body, any pains, any sensation. Simply become aware of it. And as your thoughts come, as your thoughts arise, you can observe them. You can watch them like a movie or your favorite show. You can smile with them. You can laugh with them. You can cry with them. But do not hold them. Allow your thoughts to be free as a butterfly. Allow them to come and allow them to go. As we settle into steady breathing and a still mind, I want you all simply to go deeper into yourself, go deeper into your stillness, go deeper into your stillness. To the root of who you are, what you are, why you are here. If you are fortunate to already know, continue to actualize yourself. Continue to be who you are. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Love your brother and your sister. Trust your brother and your sister. Work together. Teach, uplift, empower those around you. Together, we will make it a world that is better for all of us. Know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. Know that you are sacred and you are adored. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. And you are greater than you could ever imagine. I love you. I love you. I love you. Ashe. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, wiggle your toes, move your fingers, give yourself a neck roll. Come back to the space. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being present with me. Thank you for engaging me on this Sunday morning. I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. I hope that you guys had a beautiful session. Hope you got something from the session that you can use with you today, tomorrow, and throughout the week. The Taino way, what's going on? What's going on, Champ 1711? What's going on? Listen, guys, have a beautiful Sunday. Blessings, Mona Love. Blessings, Sefu. Blessings, Peter Jablin. I appreciate you, my dear brother. I love you. Thank you so much for being here with me on this journey all of these years and for being here this morning. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.